This is the 2021 Brewtubers Online Brewers Club Yeast Experiment number 1, Drop Kviek Nate Pale Ale. Thank you to our sponsors: Imperial Yeast, 5 Star Chemicals, Beer and Wine Hobby Homebrew Supply Store, Brewing America, all stainless steel mash paddle sponsors. Also Hopsteiner and Yakima Chief Hops. Get brewing.
All right, gentlemen. So we are at beer number 4. This is Dave from Big Dog Brewing. He is canning with the October SL1, just like I have, and Matt at Rec Brewing. All three of us have the same canner. If you're interested in canning, highly recommend it. Not cheap, but love canning. Way better than bottling. So if you're interested in shipping beers around, it's the way to go. So nice job, Dave. Cool label, Brewtubers on there. Got some information here. So he used Ebbegarden, and I don't know if I'm saying that correctly or not. 6% beer. He brewed on the 10th of April, kegged on the 22nd, canned on the 1st of May. He had a 1050 OG, and wow, it's so low. 10004 is his final gravity, so very low with that. I'll go through just a couple of the pieces. So he used 1 tablespoon slurry, just like I did. He used 5-gallon batch. He brews on the Anvil Foundry. Mash temperature was 152, pH of 5.47. So right in there, we were all shooting for that 5.3, 5.4 range. Whirlpooled at 170 for 30 minutes. The 1050 fermentation temperature was 90 degrees. He wrapped the fermenter in heavy blankets to keep it up at that point, because I don't think Dave had a fermentation chamber at that point. I think he does now. I think he just picked one up maybe in his last Homebrew Wednesday, and I'll link his channel down below. So I think that's one of the recent updates he had. Dry hop for 7 days, cold crashed for 2, dry hop for 68 degrees. I think that's what we all did. Final pH of 4.4, forced carbonation. And then he left notes of serving pressure of 10 psi. Canned some beer. Everything looked to be good. So first beer is not the decan. So just some little notes about the canning. So, all right, we'll get into this and we'll see what we got. So, oh, nice crack. Man, I love cans. Awesome. Again, if you have the ability, I know it's not cheap, but if you have the ability, I would highly recommend the October SL1. It is a great canner. Never had a problem with it. I've got a review video of it. Matt's got a review video of it. I'm not sure if Dave did one or not. I'll have to look and see. Good color. Nice, that golden straw copper right there. Excuse me. It's the first one I've had. Oh, man. Apologies. Hasn't caught in my throat. First one I've had out of the can. So we have 3 cans. Actually 4 cans as you think about it. Mine was canned. Obviously I'm not trying it off the can. Matt, Gary, Dave, and myself all can. So it'll be interesting to see carbonation wise. This is the first one I've tried in the cans, the rest of it in bottles. So much bigger head. So you're looking at, something finger and a half, something like that. So very nice, bright hop character. I like this. That's got some nice hop character to it. Not muted like mine was. I don't think it's as bright as the Control, but probably pretty close. Nate's was crispy. I think that's probably the other one that's fairly close to this. I know Wally last night, his was fairly muted like mine, but got some nice citrus notes coming out of there. Some grapefruit rind, that type of flavor, or that type of nose. All right, let's get into it. Let's launch, you guys. All right, not as bitter. Very, I'd say low bitterness, actually. I don't think it's out of balance, but very low bitterness compared to the beers I've had so far. There's bitterness there, but it's very smooth bitterness. Balanced. Nice hop character comes through there. Get that citrus, that grapefruit, a little bit of the pithy type of grapefruit coming through. It's interesting when you have beers all made the same and then just change the yeast. And when you're trying to pick out characters of it, it gets to be difficult. So it's more so or less so, that type of thing. But the indicators or the aromas, the flavors are very similar. When you're talking about Eldorado and Galaxy being the two hops that are in this, I get, at least myself, I get a lot of that grapefruit, citrus type of characters out of it. Not a lot of pine, not a lot of resin, maybe just a hair of it in some of the beers, and you don't know, is that a yeast character that's coming through that's changing the hop character a little bit, or is it the hops and how they were utilized? This is really good. Nice job, Dave. That's a very impressive beer. I like that a lot. That would be, for a person that has not gotten into IPAs, it might be a nice kind of a crossover. It's not a NEPA, so it's not out of control. Get you into a pale ale, and that's what this recipe is. It's not a West Coast IPA by any sense, but it's a nice kind of start to head down that road of craft beer type of thing. So that's what I would consider this as. Really nice color. Again, hazy, what you'd expect out of a Kviek. Head is really hanging around. Got some nice lacing there. That's a great beer. Really nice job with carbonation. Excellent job, Dave. I'm really digging this. Yeah, that's a great beer. I would so far crispy and the Ebbegarden. I don't know if I'm saying it right. So you guys can correct me if I'm sure I'm hacking that. So I apologize. But those two right now, if I was to rebrew it, other than to use the Control, the US-05, those would be the two that I've had so far that I really like. Mine, I wouldn't mind trying mine again and see, and maybe I'll do a double batch and see, and maybe I'll use a starter and see what comes of it. But I think that's a screw up on my part. I don't know that I gave the yeast the best situation possible. Stressing it's supposed to bring the character out, but I think if I'd used a yeast starter and then had the high temperatures, I may have gotten a better result. So you live and learn. That's the great thing about these experiments, is you find out an awful lot. What do you do next time? What wouldn't you do? But so far, been really good beers. Really cool experiment. I'm really enjoying this so far. And DKN, you can't go wrong. This is a great recipe. So, all right. Well, that is review number 4. So I think I have Matt's left. I have Nick at Otter Brewing. I think I have Gary's left to go. And Jerry. I think those are my other 4, I believe. And I apologize if I'm forgetting somebody. So try to keep hitting one of these a night as we go through it. My evenings this week actually are fairly open, so I'm going to try to do one a night as I do this. So try to knock them out and put them out there. So thanks again to all of our sponsors. Appreciate it. If you haven't checked out Brewtubers, check them out, brewtubers.com. I think you'll find it's a really cool group of guys that are brewing. I think it fits into, if you're a busy schedule and it's hard to make a evening meeting, it's a cool homebrew club to be able to be part of, where you really get a lot out of it, in terms of there's more interaction than just once a month. With Discord, which is a constant chat messaging system, you get a lot out of it. So I've been real happy with it. So if you haven't checked them out, make sure you do so. Thanks to all of our sponsors, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Salute, you guys.